Hello guys, welcome to the fourth lecture for Cursor AI for advanced users, and in this video we'll start building a Blogforge application, and the tech stack that we discussed in the last video will start setting up that and scaffolding our project as well, and we'll actually build a UI as well. Okay, and I'll also talk about the prompts that I generally use to build such full stack applications. You can use those prompts to just modify and tweak a bit there for different tech stack that you want to use. You can do that as well. Okay, so let's start. Let's quickly discuss the overview of this lecture. We'll learn how to guide Cursor AI with perfect prompt engineering. We become the director. We become the director. We direct how we want, what parts of the things that we want to build, and Cursor or the AI is working towards the how part of it, that how is it gonna do that, right? These LLM models are good at reasoning, so you have to provide the directions in the what way, like what you want to do, and let them reason about those things. Okay, so we'll build the entire Blogforge front end using prompts. Okay, so let's start. Okay, let's quickly talk about prompt engineering in terms of Cursor AI. So basically it's not about single code snippets, but it's actually about building features end to end. We become the architect and the Cursor acts as the engineer. Better prompts basically means cleaner architecture plus fewer rewrites. Okay, it has to have, when I was using Cursor in my initial days, what was happening is the AI or the prompts were not really good. I was kind of providing very generic prompts. So what happens is I had to, talk with AI for multiple rewrites. Hey, let's do this again, let's do this again. And in between, what used to happen is my project gets very messy, and then I had to kind of I've dropped the project in between many times while building with Cursor. So it's all about perfect prompt engineering, and I'm going to give those prompts in this video. So communicate intent, like what you want to build, okay, not how or not the micro steps. For example, you can, this is a good kind of a thing, like create a responsive dashboard layout. We are just talking about like what we want to do, and Cursor or the AI or the LLMs that are working behind, they can reason about those things much better, like how they want to do this. And if we tell them that, hey, do it this way, do it this way, then we are kind of interfering the reasoning that they bring to the table. Okay, so let's go, and then now we'll start setting up the Blogforge. So always open a project folder before you start chatting with Cursor. We will start with planning, not implementation. We first have to plan a project very properly as an architect, like what things you want to do, what tech stack you want to do. Okay, and then basically it's about thinking in this way. Tell AI what to build, not how to build. Okay, so let's this is enough theory. Now let's go back to Cursor. We'll start with a new window. Okay, then I'm gonna just zoom in a bit, and then I'm gonna say open project, and I'm gonna go to my desktop. You can go to anywhere you want and just create a new directory. Okay, this is very important. And I'll say Blogforge, and then I'm gonna say create, and then I open this directory inside the Cursor. So now my Cursor knows that it has to do project stuff inside this directory. Okay, so this is good for now. Now let's go back and let's talk about our first prompt. This is about architecting this stuff. Okay, so we are going to just architecting or planning about the project that we are building. So I've written this prompt. So let me click on this and let me quickly read this prompt for you. So what does this prompt does? So acts as a senior software architect specializing in Python and Flask. I need to build an AI-powered multi-user blogging platform called Blogforge. Based on the following requirements, please propose a complete project structure and a high-level implementation plan. Only the plan. Requirements: tech stack is this: Flask backend, SQLite for local persistence using SQL Alchemy ORM, Tailwind for a responsive front-end UI, Google Auth 2.0 authentication via AuthLive, integration with LLM APIs, OpenAI for Gemini. We'll use Gemini. I'll remove OpenAI from here for AI repurposing features. Core features: user authentication using Google Auth, CRUD operations for blog posts, drafts, and tags, AI-powered content tools, convert blog to LinkedIn post, convert blog to Twitter thread, generate blog summaries and tags. Markdown-based editor with live preview. Architecture: modular Flask blueprints, auth, posts, AI main. Use Jinja 2 template style with Tailwind CSS, REST endpoints for AI actions, organize static and templates directories. Security: protect all user roots and post endpoints by session authentication. CSRF protection and rate limiting for AI endpoints. Not necessarily, but we'll just say it to Cursor. Please output a clear project directory structure, the key Flask blueprints and routes. suggested database models, users, posts, social post tags, a short summary of how AI repurposing integrates into the architecture. Okay, so let's copy this prompt. Let me go up and let me copy this prompt, and let's go to our cursor and let's paste it here. Okay, and we'll press enter. Now cursor will take this prompt and it will actually start planning the next moves that it has to do. So it is giving us the project structure, so let it do it. And the important thing is that it is thinking in terms of as a senior software architect. That is what we wanted to do, right? So it is doing a lot of things. Let it do, and then we'll just accept it mostly. So it has even created the database models for us, ID, email name, avatar, URL, Google sub. We'll remove some of those or we will keep some of those. We'll check it later on, but let it do. And tags and all those things. Actually, what you should do is generally you should go and review these things review these things before accepting anything for cursor. For now, I'm just going to accept it like that. Okay, so let's see. This looks good and it has done a good job. It has created a lot of things for us. Okay, so this is the plan that cursor has created for us. So now what we're going to do, we're going to say that, hey, the plan is approved. The plan is approved. Usually you will review this plan, talk more with cursor or your chat GPT to understand more about the different things it is trying to do. But I'm going to just say, yeah, this is fine for me. The plan is approved. Please start scaffolding the project for me, right? This is basically creating the initial structure for your project. So I'll just say, yes, let's do this. Okay, so looks like cursor has started generating files for us. So first is requirements or txt. So these are the different libraries that it wants us to have. So I'll say just keep it. Then we can go to the next file. This is our WSGYPy. I think this is the entry point. I'll say keep it. We can go to the next file. Inside the app, it is creating all those files. So I'll just say keep, right? We can go to the next file. We can say keep. This is where different secret key. I think this is the config file. So basically all the secrets are kind of here. So I'll just say fine, review next file. This is extensions.py, and I think this is where it's kind of initializing all those stuff like SQL came in on those things. So I'll just say keep it, right? So I can go to the next file, and this is where all my models are there, right? So different tables, post tags, user table, post table, tag model, social post as well. So I'll just say keep it, and let's see. So it has finally set up the Flask app for us. Now it's gonna add the blueprints for auth, post, AI and main with minimal routes. Let's see. Okay, so we can say init blueprint. I'll say okay, keep it. Okay, so looks like all the changes are done. You can generally go to this review changes and see all the changes that cursor has done for us. I'm not going to do that. You should definitely do these things like to better understand the code that is being done for you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask cursor to run the app for me. So I'll just say, please run the app for me. Right, so let's just say this and let's see if we can do this now, or otherwise we'll start building the UI for our app. Okay. Okay, so looks like our app is started running. So let me quickly copy this URL, right, and go to browser and let's paste this. And we do have our simple a UI that cursor did for us. So we can click on signing with Google and access block authorization error. This is because we haven't set the necessary client IDs for us. So that's why it is giving us this error. Once we set up this Google auth and all, we will be good to go. Okay, so we can go to posts unauthorized because probably this is not the user doesn't exist or something. You can go back, or dashboard, again same thing, unauthorized, because we wanted every route to be protected for the user, right? So this is fine. Now let's go back, and we also have Tailwind CSS is scaffolder to build CSS run this command. So I'm guessing that we need a new terminal. So let's go to new terminal, and what we can do is we can go to this, we can run npm install there, because I'm just running the things that cursor is asking me to do, right? So we have done this, so we can run npm run build CSS. Let's do this. So this is done. Now we can go to cursor and we can just say cancel this, or we can just start this process again, right? So we'll just say run the Flask app again, and let's see whether our Tailwind CSS is kind of configured correctly or not. Okay, we had already built a CSS, but okay, let's run this using cursor. Okay, so Tailwind built, CSS 404 resolved. Now if I open this, yes, we do see our Tailwind CSS also building fine. So this is really good. So now what we can do is we can go back, and we have a lot of things done. Now we can go ahead and talk about like how we can get our Google auth key, right? So let's go there. So I will actually ask ChatGPT to just give me like where I can get the Google auth key. So I'll just ask, hey ChatGPT, where can I get the Google OAuth key for signing purposes, right? So let's just see what ChatGPT gives us to us, and whether we are able to get the auth key or not. Okay, so this is what ChatGPT is suggesting me, that if you want to get this auth 2.0 client ID and the client secret, you can go to this Google Cloud Console. So let me copy this URL, and let's go open this, and let's see the next step. Create or select a project, top left project select tree. So we can select a project. I already have a project, otherwise you can just create a project from here. So fine, we can enable APIs, optional but common. Go to APIs and services, library, enable any APIs you need. Google API, people API if you will read profile info. Configure the OAuth consent screen. APIs and services, OAuth consent screen. APIs and services. Then we go to what was called? It was called OAuth consent screen. OAuth, we can search from here also. OAuth consent screen. So I think this is the one, right? So let's go there, and we can say get started. We'll just say my app name is, what is my app name? My app name is Blogforge, right? And user support email, my email is fine. Then we go to next. Then only available to users within your organization. You will not need to submit your app for verification. Available to any test user with a Google account. Your app will start testing mode. It will only be available to users you add to the list of users. Once your app is ready to push to production, you may need to verify your app. So I'll just say external. We'll go next. Email addresses, we'll just provide our email. Fine. Then we can go to next, and I agree. Let's continue, and let's create. Okay, so this is where it will create the API keys for us, which we can use inside our platform. We'll just say create OAuth client, and our application type is web application. We'll just say client one is fine. Authorize redirect URL, we can just say authorize URL. For this we can application, and for URL we can just provide this one, right? This callback is fine. So I'll just copy this, I'll just redirect URL, I'll just paste it here, Google callback, and I'll just change the route port to 5000. Okay, so I'll just say this, add this URI. Actually it has already added, so it's fine. Then we can go and create this, right? So we will have the client ID created for us. So the client ID can also be accessed from clients tab under Google Auth platform. Okay, fine. So we will copy this client ID, then go back to our app, and it was saying that you can visit the app if you want. I can also add this. So we can go to the env file, Flask env. It is not this one, but where is the environment? I think it was in config, right? It created something called as config file. Here we can go and auth client ID, Google client ID, auth client ID secret, and auth callback. So this URL looks right. Auth Google callback it is, right? Auth Google callback. So let me go inside this, and client ID is this. Where is the client secret? And client secret is this, right? So client ID we have. So let me copy this client ID, right? So we have the Google client ID. Usually you should not put it here, should get it from should actually get it from the env file, but this is fine for now. And then we can go back and again copy the client secret and paste it here, right? So this is our client secret, and this is something he told that it should be auth Google callback, right? So auth Google callback is a redirect URL. Okay, so I'm going to just save this and go back to our here, and let's try this. So I'll say please cancel the app and run it again for me. So I'll just say please kill the app and run Flask app again. So let's see. Okay, so it has run the app again. So let me copy this, go back, let me run it here, and let's see if our Google signing works or not. And it does. It kind of takes me to here. Our client ID and secrets are running fine. I can say continue, and this URL is not correct, so this is fine, but we are inside this Google. The signing is done. So okay, so we have configured Google Auth as well, so this is fine. Now UI looks somewhat okay to me, but I'm gonna use a different prompt that I have created, and usually I use that prompt to build my UI. So let me open that, right, and go inside this, and let's copy this prompt, okay, for my better use case. So I'll just go inside cursor and I'll just paste it here. What I'll do is I'll just remove all these guys. I don't need them, right? So now let's create, don't need this context. I'm just gonna say clean and modern. Actually, let me read the prompt to you. Now let's create a clean, modern, professional user interface for Blogforge, our AI-powered blogging platform. The layout should have a dashboard style structure featuring a top navigation bar with the Blogforge logo, AI tools menu, repurpose summarize tag, and a user avatar drop-down for profile and layout. A left sidebar with navigation links for dashboard, my post, drafts, tags, and settings. So I've changed the layout like we discussed in the last video a bit. A main content area where users can view or edit blog posts using a markdown editor with a live preview panel. Okay, so I have not talked about the feed here, but for feed, I will show you that how we can make changes to the already generated stuff. Use Tailwind CSS for styling with a professional minimal palette, shades of slate gray, deep indigo, and electric purple accents for an AI-inspired aesthetic. Ensure the layout feels creative yet focused, but with subtle shadows, smooth transitions, and fully responsive behavior across devices. Make sure the design supports dark mode with muted backgrounds and glowing access elements for the AI buttons. Repurpose to LinkedIn and generate Twitter thread. Ensure all visual components look cohesive and elegant while maintaining a tech professional vibe suitable for modern creators. Okay, so this is the prompt. Now let's go back and let's press enter, and let's let cursor do the magic for us. Okay. Okay, so it is done. Now we'll say just kill the Flask app and run it again for me. Okay, so we are not making a lot of changes around what the logic entails as per the project that we discussed last time. That is something we'll do later. Right now we just want to set up something, scaffolder project, and see a bit of UI as per like what we are trying to give. Okay, so let's go back, and now it's running our app. Let me refresh this, and I think now it's running on port 5000 only. Okay, so we can go here and enter 0, and let's run this. And this is what our app looks like, right? So we have this one, this profile icon. I don't know what this is, but this is where we can ask to put our logo, which we can give later on as well. This is fine. We can click on signing with Google, and we can click here, and yes, and yes, we are going to the Google auth Google callback, and this is what the state is, which will use later on for cursor. For our Flask thing, so that it redirects us once the user is signed in and put it in our database as well, and all those kinds of stuff, right? So far we have built this, right? We have built this. Where is it? It's running, right? And this is the 1 second. So I think localhost is not 127.0.0.1. Yes, so don't know why it's not running localhost, but anyways, so this is our app is, and the UI looks very neat now. We can, so we can use repurpose, and actually I'm not able to select any menu items. So let me check like this, tab, using tab I'm able to access this, but if I hover over this, and it just vanishes. So this is also a good bug to solve. Okay, so drafts, we can't go there. We have dashboard, unauthorized. Yes, so this is really good, right? And actually what we wanted to do, we wanted to have a dashboard and all those kinds of things. So this is something we'll do in the next video. Okay, so this is good time to commit your code as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to initialize the repository. I'm just say analyze my repository and suggest a good commit message for me, right? So this is something also you can do. So let's do that. Okay, so this is very good commit message. Feature scaffolding, initialize Blogforge with Flask app, blueprints, models and modern UI. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. And actually we don't have what we call as a git ignore file, right? Git ignore app, git ignore something we don't have. So I'm going to just go to internet and ask for a git ignore file for Flask project, and let's see what we have. Basic python.gitignore file. So we can copy this, but this looks like a lot, or we can just go back to cursor only actually to generate .gitignore file for me according to the project we have built so far. Okay, so let's cursor do the magic for us and create a .gitignore file, and so that we can directly commit with our message. So it is creating a .gitignore file. It has done that, and we'll just trust cursor that is doing the right thing. Okay, so that is done, and then we wanted to commit this and a feature, and we'll just say commit. We'll say yes, stage all my files, and we have done our first commit. This is very good, right? So we have built a lot of stuff, and this is a good time to stop here. And in the next video we'll do or add more logic to our application. Okay, see you guys, bye.